Hello, brothers and sisters in the motherland, Africa, and beyond. We're hoping that you are well. Thank you for coming back to watch our videos. In this video, we'll be looking at some comments that Putin, the president of Russia, made about Africa, which are very important to remind us where we are coming from. And what's to note is we just came from G20, but there's between 10th of September and 13th of September, there is the Eastern Economic Forum, that is Eastern Europe Economic Forum, and it's being held in Vladivostok in Russia. And there are a lot of things happening. You can go and check online. But during this economic forum, Putin was talking about, he talked about a lot of things, including China and the West being scared of China because China is growing. Then he talked about Africa.
Well, let's take Africa as an example. Talking about cooperation, we helped them, and the colonial powers back in 1957. I saw photos of that time. So to European countries, to Belgium, brought people from Africa in chains. Well, kids were exposed in as African villages behind bars, and they brought people from Africa and they exposed them, the entire families and people and the kids behind bars. How one can forget this? Nobody in Africa will forget this, and they're still trying to impose their neo-colonial policy there. That now the African debt is $3 trillion. So they created such a financial credit and financial system, which resulted in huge debt. They cannot pay. African countries cannot pay for their credits. By definition, they are not capable of doing this. It's not credit-type relations. It's like a contribution, and we follow completely different approaches. We did this in the past, and we keep doing this now. And this is our competitive edge when it comes to our cooperation with our partners and with those whom we had specific relations back in the Soviet Union, and with those with whom we are developing.
So in the video, he's saying that he was given a photo of what was happening. The photo is from 1956, and African children, African adults were being taken from Africa in cages like animals and displayed in Europe. And guys, if you have never heard of that, then you are in luck, because we are telling you. You can search for a lady called Sarah Baartman from South Africa, who died in France after being used in a freak show. Like, she was taken from South Africa to Europe, and she went across some countries in Europe and eventually died in France after being used as an animal in a zoo, in schools. Like, they wanted to see, why do you have big bum? And they studied everything in her. She finally died in France. That is just one example of how Africans were mistreated. And Putin is said, we will never forget. And do you know what I can comment on that? Like, these are the things that make Africans gravitate towards Russia, because you feel this person knows your pain, so he understands what you're going through. But on the other side, those people are messing you up. So that could be one reason that why Africa is gravitating towards actually the citizens of Africa.
As much as we are gravitating towards that, myself, I usually have a 50-50 analysis on Russia and the West and Europe and France and all these countries, because that kind of friend who comes to you when he knows that someone wronged you, so you are coming together to become enemies of that person. It's usually not because they are concerned about you. But it's because maybe they are also an enemy of that person, so they want to hold hands and become stronger together as enemies of this person. So that is to say, that is my own analysis.
That we should be careful in the
Yes,
dealings.
because this person is bringing out the pain that we experienced, making it feel like he's feeling for us, he's here for us, shoulder to cry on. And in that shoulder to cry on, you might just let out everything that you have, You feel good. It's like somebody consoling you.
On top of that, he also talked about the way Western countries have a system of loans in which Africans are loaded with a lot of
That they
loans
cannot repay.
that we are unable to pay,
Forever
so we
indebted.
remain indebted slaves. But I also want to go back into history, because Russia, you see how many countries in Africa are not colonized? Ethiopia and Liberia.
Yes,
So,
Liberia.
and Liberia was not colonized because those were the slaves being brought back from the US. So they were being freed, so it became a free country. But Ethiopia fought. Africa was colonized because we didn't have the modern weapons that are guns. We fought. Shaka Zulu fought, and we fought. But we were able to win. We were not able to win until we accessed the guns.
Given.
But do you know Russia has the Orthodox Church and Ethiopia has the Orthodox Church? So when Italy wanted to colonize Ethiopia, Russia said, we are not going to allow our brother to be colonized, to be taken into slavery by you. So Russia supplied weapons to Ethiopia. And that's how they defeated. That is the second war of Ethiopia. The first one, they fought with swords and all that. So that is one. Then we saw Russia supporting a lot of African countries like South Africa during the apartheid and among other countries in getting out of this slavery. So I think we will not be wrong to trust them, even as we are cautious. We need to, we leave the West and we trust them because we have seen what they are doing.
I still have my reservations on that. I'm just taking it back to the Hitler era and, the Jews and all of those things that really happened.
Russia was very instrumental in ending the Second World War, that is Hitler, and they lost about a lot of, like 25 million people died. That was the United Soviet Socialist Republic, USSR, which now incorporated the likes of Ukraine, Georgia, Russia all together. And Russia was one of the countries who lost a lot to win that war, because that was Germany killing the Jews. Then later Hitler now wanted to take every country to be his own, So, okay, we need to be careful because everybody comes with their own interest. But if it's that contract that I'm signing, which it says you benefit, I benefit.
Protect my resources, what is mine stays mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Putin seems like a very nice guy. Seems like he's the guy that Africa needs. And that I would truly support. I like the way he speaks, the way he always has, best interest of Africa in anything that he says. So we hope that it's genuine. It's not one case of leaving this one thinking you're going to a better
from a frying pan to the fire.
To the fire.
But I'd rather go to that fire.
Let's wait and see.
No way.
Let's wait
the
and
pain
see.
that our African countries have gone through, we lost a lot of people. Kenya, Congo, and Belgium, Botswana, and Namibia, and German. It's Namibia. It's Namibia, the German. The Germans are the ones which killed a lot of Namibians.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be in the fire because I've never seen this fire burning this badly.
Guys, let us know what you think about this situation. Do you trust Putin and Russia that this is the best partnership that Africa needs? What are your sentiments about this whole, topic? We would love to hear from you. And please don't forget that we want to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this week. And time is running, guys. We are behind.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Please.
Subscribe.
Like the
and like the
video,
video.
share the video, share your comments. We would love to interact with you. See you in the next one.
Bye bye.